In today's video, we'll be going over a brand new PlayStation 4 firmware update that has just been released, and while Sony is giving the generic statement about what this firmware update is doing, there's actually a lot of significance to it, as it probably ties to that little PlayStation Network messaging bug. On top of that, for many of you guys, Fallout New Vegas was without a doubt your favorite Fallout game. If you're hoping the developers behind that game will ever work on a new Fallout, well, they're saying it's pretty doubtful. Also, we are inching closer and closer to the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Preloading for the game is actually going to kick off very soon. Well before the actual release of the game, a launch trailer is coming very soon, and it looks like it's been confirmed that the game will be arriving on 2 separate discs. That is if you buy the game physically. Also, next month we'll see the release of Darksiders 3. I'm very excited for that game, and now we have a rough estimate about how long that game is going to last in terms of playtime. And lastly, Soulcalibur 6 will see a release this Friday, and the reviews have been posted, and they are looking very positive, so I want to go over the Metacritic score for that title, but more on that at the end of this video. First, a PlayStation Network update in version 6.02 is out, and Sony is saying that this system software update improves system performance. However, there's probably a little bit more to this update. As you guys know, that PSN messaging bug has been going around, and Sony did say that they were aware of the issue and they were working on an update to fix that issue. Why they aren't promoting it, I don't know. I personally think they just didn't want to shed more light into that issue, and they just want to pretend like it never happened, because let's be real, an issue like that, it's better off that the majority of gamers don't ever know about it, as it was something not a ton of gamers were talking about, but it was a major issue on the PlayStation Network. I believe this update will fix it, so you can set your account back to public if you want to, for whatever reason. If you want random people messaging you, I don't know, but hey, you should have the option to keep your account public without the worry that somebody's gonna message you something and that's gonna cause a software reset on your PlayStation 4. That's just completely ridiculous. And by the way, with all of these updates, maybe you guys are thinking they are not actually improving system performance, but there was a video that someone uploaded a while ago looking at the PlayStation 4 from like firmware update 2.5 to firmware update 6.0, and a lot of the system stability has been improved. You can access games quicker. I believe installs are faster. So over time, system performance is actually getting better through these updates, but I think this update more so is tied to that PlayStation Network messaging bug. Also, as I mentioned at the top, for many of you guys, Fallout New Vegas was your favorite Fallout game that was ever released, and that game wasn't even done directly by Bethesda. It was actually outsourced to Obsidian. Obsidian Entertainment has created some other fantastic games, including South Park: The Stick of Truth. They did Pillars of Eternity 2 Tyranny, which was a PC-only release, and many gamers have wanted Obsidian to go back and try their hand at another Fallout game. Somebody asked them over on Twitter. Unfortunately, Obsidian responded with a picture of a magic 8-ball saying, quote, very doubtful. Now, this is probably accurate, as there are reports that Microsoft will soon be acquiring Obsidian, so that is a shame. I think Obsidian is an incredibly underrated studio. Whenever I talk about Obsidian, it seems like a lot of you guys do give them some flack, and they're not what they used to be. I don't know if you guys played Pillars of Eternity or Pillars of Eternity 2. I know those really don't resonate with a console gamer, but I personally feel those are very good games, and I thought Tyranny was an okay title as well. Definitely not their best game. And you look at titles like South Park: The Stick of Truth, I think Obsidian is a quality studio, and now that they're probably going to have the backing of Microsoft, now that they're going to have a lot more resources, I do foresee their next game being something special. But of course, if Microsoft does acquire them, we won't be seeing that release on the PlayStation 4, so that's a shame as well. So Obsidian probably isn't going to be in the best graces with PlayStation gamers. Moving on from that, of course, we are inching closer and closer to the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. If you're buying the game digitally, preloading for the title will begin this Friday, so you will be able to download the game beforehand, and it looks like it will be around a 90GB download, so you'll want to get on that ASAP. Don't wait until Thursday night. Don't wait even until Wednesday. I think it's great that Rockstar is giving us some time to actually preload the game, because if we don't have the best internet connection, a 90GB download is going to be quite sizable. So they're giving us a full week to download the game. On top of that, if you need to be sold on the game some more, or if you just want to get one last piece of content about the game, a launch trailer will be dropping tomorrow, Thursday, October 18th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So you'll be able to check that out ahead of its October 26th release. Now, what's probably even more interesting, as spotted on Reddit, somebody found a Red Dead Redemption 2 Japanese box, and it lists that the game will be shipped on 2 separate discs physically. Now, this hasn't been confirmed anywhere, and something like this, you would really imagine that it would be confirmed by Rockstar. I don't really think it's a major issue. I think the fact that it is being released on 2 discs is kind of a testament to how huge this game is going to be. I imagine that one of those discs is going to be for single player, and then maybe you have to put the other disc in for online. Maybe that's why this is, you know, a 90 90 gigabyte download, and they already have the groundwork for that online mode within that 90 gigabytes, and whenever the online mode does roll out, it's not going to be another sizable download. But on the physical end of things, it does look like the game will be shipping on 2 discs, and the fact that it is around 90 gigabytes, that kind of makes sense that it is on 2 discs, because I believe each Blu-ray disc can hold about 50 gigabytes of content, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and that's not with any future updates released. I guess they do need that 2 discs. I thought that was something that wasn't going to come to fruition. I thought that was a rumor that wasn't going to come true, but hey, I don't think it's a big deal. There have been other games this generation that have released on 2 discs, but it's very few and far between, because again, a Blu-ray disc can hold so much. XCOM 2's Ultimate Edition actually shipped with all of the DLC and updates on a separate disc, and then the main game was on another disc, so that is something to note. But nonetheless, I imagine a lot of you guys are buying the game digitally anyway, and I imagine that the game being on 2 discs isn't gonna bother you at all. Moving on from that, while many of you guys are excited for Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe you're excited for Fallout 76, Battlefield 5, one game that has been going a little under the radar is Darksiders 3, the latest game in the Darksiders franchise. Yes, THQ Nordic is bringing it back, and Gunfire Games are the guys behind it, and WCCF Tech were able to talk to them. Well, playtime is always a tricky question, as it depends on numerous factors. On average, we would say somewhere around 15 hours plus, which is similar to the first Darksiders. It was also confirmed that the game will support HDR, so that's pretty nice as well. I think Darksiders is a relatively underrated franchise. You can get the first 2 games on the PlayStation 4 as well, and they go on sale all the time, so I always recommend those games. I could understand why you might be hesitant to drop a full $59.99 on Darksiders 3, and honestly, if you're one that's a little bit contentious about saving money, I do foresee Darksiders 3 being a game that's not going to do all too well commercially and go on sale rather quickly, so on that end, I would probably just say wait a little bit, and that's unfortunate to me because I want this game to do well from a commercial standpoint so we can see this franchise continue, but based on the general vibe that I'm getting, I just don't see this game doing all too well, but hopefully I'm wrong. And lastly, the official reviews for Soulcalibur 6 have been posted, and this game is doing very, very well from a review standpoint, an 84 on Metacritic. Now, I know the consensus with a lot of you people is like, oh, anything under a 90 means a game isn't that good, but no, 84 is a very, very good score. And with a game like Soulcalibur 6, it wasn't getting much attention heading into its release, and with games like this, from my experience, it seems like hype does factor into a critic's reviews, but I do want to go over some of the scores that have been posted. DualShockers gave the game a 9.5, saying that Soulcalibur 6 is undoubtedly one of the finest fighting games of this generation and one worth exploring even if you can't get into the broader fighting genre. With rich and complex campaign modes and robust gameplay, Soulcalibur 6 is a game I will return to for years to come. Very positive words, and good to see that the game does have a solid campaign mode. IGN scored the title an 8.9, saying despite some minor issues, the soul of Soulcalibur 6 is so strong that they don't do much to bring down what is one of the best entries in the series. The new Reversal Edge and Soul Charge mechanics add new layers of strategy, will provide hours upon hours of fantastic single-player content. Beyond that, Soulcalibur 6 is just straight up fun for players of any skill level. It seems like Soulcalibur 6 is a rather accessible fighting game, and once again, IGN talks very positively about the single-player content, and I love to see that in fighting games. It seems like more and more fighting games are going the route of, hey, we know that the multiplayer is going to be there, the one-on-one battles, but let's also offer a quality single-player component as well. Games like Injustice 2 have really nailed that, and it looks like Soulcalibur 6 has nailed that as well. Expect the Metacritic score to fluctuate a little bit because all of the reviews haven't been posted. They've only got 19 reviews posted there, but an 84 to start off, that's definitely a good sign. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, PlayStation 4 firmware update version 6.02 is out right now. I would recommend you to download that ASAP to get some improved system performance, but also to circumvent that awful messaging bug. It looks like Obsidian won't ever be making another Fallout game. They're saying it's very doubtful. Preloading for Red Dead Redemption 2 begins this Friday. A launch trailer drops tomorrow, and by the looks of it, the game will be shipping on 2 discs if you pick it up physically. Darksiders 3 looks to last around 15 hours, and Soulcalibur 6 is doing pretty well on Metacritic right now with the score of 84. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. This video is brought to you by scdkeys.com. You need store credit to buy your games anyway, so why not get it for a bit cheaper? They've got PlayStation Network $50 credit codes, and after you use our special code with GC3, you'll be getting that for just $46.64. Also, if you're looking to buy games on your Nintendo Switch, they've also got Nintendo eShop codes for $45.59 after you use the code GC3. They've also got fantastic deals on PC software such as Windows 10 and Office 2019. Check out the links in the description box below to get great deals on everything I just mentioned.